And then our very first guest today. I'm so excited to have her in the studio. Can we just call her the First Lady of Rugby? Welcome to the show.
Oh, you're amazing.
You are just the best. I'm so happy to have you here. I mean, our first guest for today is, of course, a name all too familiar to South Africans across the country. Rachel Kolisi joins us to chat about her highlights of 2019, plus all the things that she's getting up to in 2020. And we also get right into a little fitness demo with Tammy Rawstron, so make sure to tune in for that. Connect with us. If you've got any questions for Rachel, tweet us at Afternoon Chat using the official hashtag, or go and visit our Facebook or our Instagram page. How are you?
So good. It's so good to be here.
Did you just have the best year of your life last year?
Yes and no. I mean, every year's got its ups and downs,
yeah.
But obviously ended off on an absolute high. So we're so grateful, and it's just been the most incredible journey.
Wow. I heard that you said that if you had to give one word to 2019, it would be unity. Why is that?
For so many different reasons. I think that the year started off so rough. And everybody would have known that because it was very public. But it landed up, you know, through unity. And I mean, in the country and within my family, you know, in all different aspects of life. Like, it really just landed up. We all came together, and I think, you know, winning the World Cup is really just a result of what can come when we unite.
Absolutely. Okay, let's just talk World Cup. I have to tell you my favorite moment of the World Cup. I think I screenshot it and I sent it to everybody because I thought it was so amazing. You are just so real. And, you know, you just put everything into perspective. When the day after the World Cup, you photographed a bath full of your washing and you said, washing's still got to get done. Like, from such an incredible high, you just made it so real. Washing's still got to get done. So how was Japan? I mean,
Japan is so amazing. And I mean, the time, obviously, it was such an exciting time to be there. But, you know, Japan is so far. What was interesting about the World Cup, it's so far from South Africa. And, you know, the average South African can't afford to go and travel over there. And obviously everyone, especially when we were in the final, would have loved to have been there. But can't afford it. So it was so interesting in the final, sitting in the stadium, because the majority of supporters were English supporters. And we were just like, oh my word, this is quite intimidating. But just so incredible that we managed to pull through in the end. But Japan is the most incredible experience. You know, the culture, the people, everything about it. I mean, you can walk around there at 3 o'clock in the morning and not feel nervous or fearful at all. And it's so strange coming from South Africa to an environment like that. To be able to experience that was just awesome.
My best friends flew to Japan for the final, and they said, like, as you won the world. I mean, I was with a bunch of people. It was just so emotional. What was the atmosphere like to actually be there and experience it firsthand?
I mean, every time I think about it, like, I get emotional. I think
you can get emotional. We don't mind.
I think everyone kind of does, because it meant so much for so many of us.
Tears, I have to tell you, it was. Do you know that it was the best thing for the country? The country needed it at that point. I'm getting emotional just remembering it.
In a way, I almost feel like we missed out a little bit, because there was so much going on in South Africa, and obviously everyone was kind of posting their experiences of the win, and I almost feel like we missed out on, like, what was happening back at home. And especially being in a stadium, you know, you just saw a bunch of empty seats because all the English people were just like, oh, we're leaving. But the minute they put the camera on that moment when they were putting South Africa as the winners, like, grabbed my kids and I was like, we're going to the gate because we're going on this field. But literally the whole time I was there, my son Nick, he's 5 years old, I promised him the whole time he just wanted to run on the field after the game, because that's what happens at the local games. And he kind of said to me, he was like, I just want to run on the field. So afterwards, like, race to the gate so we could get onto the field so he could go have his run.
That is so sweet. You know, I remember when I first met Sia, and just thinking, what an incredible, incredible guy. And to see the man that he's become now is just extraordinary. What do you think? I mean, I've just seen him mature and become such a great human being and such a great father. What do you think that push is for him, and of course for your family?
Well, if I'm 100% honest, like, we have to give all the glory to God, because he was really the changing factor in our relationship and in our family and everything. And just putting him at the foundation of everything changed everything for us. And I really do believe people constantly coming up to me and saying, he's such a humble guy. He is. Yeah. Because, you know, he knows that it's not about him, that it's so much more than that. So credit where it's due, but he comes from such humble beginnings, and I know that a lot of people know that already, but he carries that with him everywhere that he goes, and he never forgets where he came from. He's constantly giving back into his community and constantly going back there to hang out with his friends and be in the environments that he was in. So he's definitely not someone, and it's something that I fell in love with a long, long time ago, was just that he was so grounded in where he came from, and he's never let that go. And I really do believe that that's played a huge part in who he is today.
Highlight for 2020 was your back-to-school photograph. That was amazing. So cute. Are your kids quite disciplined? Have they gone into the new year in school quite, you know, they picked up their routine quite easily again?
Yes. Some have, some haven't. It all just kind of depends what age stage they're in. So my youngest daughter's only 2 years old now. So obviously, and any mother of a toddler will know, when you drop them off at school, the first couple of days, it's like tantrum screaming. And it's funny for me because it's my 4th child I'm dropping off at school. And there's parents on the sides, you know, they're sobbing, crying their eyes out, and I'm like, don't worry, by the time you get to the second one, you're going to be like, bye, great day. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see what stages they're in, but so far it's been pretty smooth, and the routine has been okay between covering 10,000 books and making sure everything's labeled. We're getting that. Next week will be a better week, I'm sure.
Oh, sweet, man. What is your take on social media? Because you are so real and so accessible, I think, to so many people. You just call it as it is. And I think you are so loved and so respected for that. So what is your take? Like, how much do you share? How much don't you share?
So it actually, there was a time, so if you go way back on my social media, you see that I only actually joined social media after I had my son. So I was very late in getting into it, and then when I started posting and I realized, okay, a lot of people are interested in Sia's partner at the time, I realized, okay, this could be a thing, like I could have a platform here. And I was nervous about it at first, but then I realized, like, there's a voice attached to that, and there's so much that you can do with that, and it kind of holds a sense of responsibility as well. And then as, you know, social media has progressed and, you know, people are doing their own thing and stuff, I just realized there's so much fake. And I feel that holds a lot of people almost in a locked room to watch other people living their best lives, and then you compare yourself the whole time to these people that are actually not posting the truth and stuff. So I, as honest...
Except for me, my life is that fabulous.
Get it, Edie. But it really just, it made me realize that in social media, I felt that was my place, and that's where I wanted to share a voice, that, you know, you don't need to take social media so seriously, you know, that everything needs to be perfect. And also, I never wanted other women to look at me and compare themselves to me. So I've always wanted women to relate to me.
Yeah, but you also are the clapback queen.
Oh, yeah. I mean, listen, there are times when people must just know, you know, honestly, people, I feel like social media it doesn't give you the right to just say whatever you think.
Totally. I don't know where some people get off. Just, honestly, this is my opinion.
I know. And also they almost, the advice that's often given is that you don't say anything, just ignore them, let them. I'm like, no, we gotta let them know, like, it's not okay. So yes, I do enjoy a little clap back every now and then, but it doesn't go without, it's not undeserved.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think from me particularly, and I know a lot of my friends and a lot of women that I know are just so grateful for you. Also, to see such a good relationship. It looks like the two of you really work hard at loving each other, honoring each other, respecting each other. And it's really beautiful to see. It's a beautiful example to the country. Now that you guys are basically the president. Oh, my word, New York.
How fun.
Did you meet Jay-Z?
We didn't get to meet him, no. No, we're working very close with his partner at the moment, but obviously
how exciting. What does this mean?
They have the most intense schedule, but Man, this partnership with Rock Nation has just been the most incredible journey and has just opened so many doors. So excited. I think I can kind of tell people now, but Sia's documentary is officially on the card.
I could actually cry.
It's going to be, like, gives me goosebumps.
No one deserves it more. I'm so happy for him. So what does this mean that he's signed to Rock Nation? Like, does he...
So basically, they handle all of his global endorsements and that kind of stuff. But let me tell you something, professionalism, like on a whole nother level. So there's just so much. And you know what, in the decision with signing with him, we always knew that it was we're gonna have as many South Africans brought through that process and exposed to that kind of professionalism as possible. So even on the documentary, there's not a South African getting left behind. And as much as we have amazing producers and directors and stuff working on it, we're giving South Africans the opportunity to shadow some of the best in the world, which is so exciting. I
just have to share with the audience as well. You know, last year we went to Monaco for the Loyal Sports Awards. Sia and Rachel's luggage didn't arrive. So Sia quickly ran and got a suit till like last minute, just before the event, and arrived. And I was like, I have another dress, because I always carry a spare. And he was like, and then he just said, no, it's fine, you didn't want. But
you know, I sat in a bath drinking a bottle of wine that night. I was like, absolutely not, I'm not going anywhere.
I sat at the bar with Roger Federer drinking a bottle of wine. You should have come. Thank you so much for being here. You are just so extremely amazing. We're going to chat to you a little bit later. But now we've asked you if you've got any questions for Rachel Kolisi. And of course, Koketse Semekane asked, how do you remain so humble after your husband's success?
Well, obviously I've mentioned, you know, the foundation that we have with God and what he brings to our life, but also the people that I have in my life. So I often talk about my table, which is a very close group of friends that really hold me accountable. So sometimes if I'm stepping out of line, my friends will kind of call me up and be like, Rachel, we feel like, you know, this is not really what you're about and not really your values. And that really helps a lot to have a very close group of friends that really hold you accountable. So I really do believe that helps. And then also I try to get out into communities and people that are dealing with a lot less that I'm dealing with, are given a lot less opportunities that I have. So really to get out into a community of people that really make you realize that how favored and blessed you are is always important as well.
Beautiful. Then Sihle asked, my question for Mrs. K is, how was it meeting Sia's family for the first time? And how was it for you to adjust into a new, different culture?
Okay, so how amazing. The first time I met Sia's family was actually at his Mgidi, so after he had come out of the bush. And I was so nervous. I was asking all of my closer friends, what am I supposed to wear? What's the correct attire? And my one friend from school was like, just wear shorts and a t-shirt, and that's absolutely, obviously not okay. So luckily I showed up in a long dress, but my chest wasn't covered. But they were just the most welcoming family, and it was the most incredible time to be with the family and experience the culture. And they were super impressed that I knew how to cut onions, actually.
How do you cut an onion?
No, literally just peel and cut an onion. They were just impressed that I could do that. And I was like, I can even roast a chicken, do some roast veggies too.
So sweet. Now join us after the break as we make a fruit of the forest recipe, plus a jam-packed fitness demo from Rise Women. Can't wait for that.
Awesome.